Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, here we go again, another pea-brained move from pea-brain Biden. You know, this clown in the White House keeps going on about all of his accomplishments, and he's clearly taking a victory lap for this one. But the legacy of his administration is nothing but one big slap in the face to American voters. In the previous pea-brain Biden segment, as you can see by the thumbnail, we covered Joe Biden's idiot move of attacking and closing domestic oil production, then just shipping the jobs and productions over to Venezuela. Because of course we know American jobs, American industry, and cleaner fossil fuel production bad, dirty communist dictator oil good. But what is it? Maybe a week later we got another pea-brain idiot Joe Biden moment, trading the Lord of War, the Merchant of Death, a Russian arms dealer, one of the most notorious terrorists in world history, who's been in federal prison for I think around 15 years if I'm not mistaken. Just looked it up and he was arrested in 2008. Well, we traded that guy for WNBA superstar Brittney Griner. This is gonna go down as the worst trade in WNBA history, and it's just absolutely idiotic in so many different ways. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so I'm sure you guys have seen the news, but if you haven't, here it is. Brittney Griner has been released by Russia in a one-for-one prison swap for arms dealer Viktor Bout. The White House is trying to celebrate this as a massive PR victory.
She's on the ground.
Stop it.
Yep, she's on the ground.
Great day. You guys. This is such a good day. Oh my God.
Brittney's coming home, they say. The question that everybody should be asking themselves is, at what cost? Here's video of the actual swap. And that right over there, the prisoner that she's being swapped with, is Viktor Bout. Who exactly is Viktor Bout, you may ask? Well, how about we take a look at the 60 Minutes segment from back in 2010? That'll give you guys a great idea as to who exactly this individual is.
This past week, they brought him to New York to face terrorism charges. Tonight, those at the heart of Operation Relentless, a sting that spanned 3 continents, tell the story behind it for the first time.
Viktor Bout, in my eyes, is one of the most dangerous men on the face of the earth.
On the face of the earth.
Without a doubt. AK-47s, not by the thousands, but by the tens of thousands.
So he weaponizes civil war in Africa.
He transformed these young adolescent warriors into insidious, mindless, maniacally driven killing machines that operated with assembly line efficiencies.
Has indicted him on 4 terror-related charges, including conspiracy to kill Americans.
What makes him a threat to the United States?
He is a shadow facilitator. He's arming not only designated terrorist groups, insurgent groups, but he's also arming very powerful drug trafficking cartels around the globe.
This is the Lord of War, the Merchant of Death.
Right.
And you've got him in your hands.
Right, he's in custody. It's a great feeling.
The quote, Merchant of Death and Lord of War, a man accused and found guilty of arming terrorist groups that seek to do you harm. A man not only involved in conspiracies to end American lives, but a man who arms the exact individuals who have taken American lives over the past 2 decades. A man so notorious that they made a movie about this guy, with Nicolas Cage playing the character.
There are over 550 million firearms in worldwide circulation. That's 1 firearm for every 12 people on the planet. The only question is, how do we arm the other 11?
Yep, that's the trade of the century, folks. Foreign leaders once again running laps around this clown currently occupying the White House. Joe Biden claims that I didn't have a choice.
This was not a choice of which American to bring home. And I urge Russia to do the same to ensure that Paul's health and humane treatment maintained until we are able to bring him home.
Except he did have a choice. I don't know, maybe using a little bit of leverage or not agreeing to this trade in the first place, especially understanding the context of what's currently going on in Ukraine. You know what's a bad idea? Spending over $100 billion sending weapons, explosives, and munitions to Ukraine, and then releasing and sending back a notorious arms dealer back to Russia, which is on the border of Ukraine, I wonder what's going to happen with all of the leftover weapons that the United States government is sending to Ukraine. Well, what's probably going to happen is Viktor Bout is going to get straight back to business, collecting those weapons and sending them to the highest bidders in all the terrorist groups in the Eastern world who seek to do you harm. This has to be one of the dumbest decisions ever made. Brittney Griner, a WNBA player who got caught crossing an international border with illegal substances for a notorious merchant of death arms dealer. Now, of course, I don't feel good about Brittney Griner losing her freedoms, but at the end of the day, she did it to herself. And the question that I keep mentioning in all of these videos that I've covered on the topic is, why does she deserve special treatment? Well, it's very simply because she's a prominent woke leftist. And woke lefties, of course, as we know, get special treatment. There are American citizens rotting in prisons in various different authoritarian nations across the globe, but none of them are high-profile left-wing activists. And so, of course, what do they get? They get to rot in jail. Meanwhile, Brittney Griner, instead of having to suffer for her bad decision-making skills, the current clown occupying the White House is willing to move mountains to get her released. And what a slap in the face to all the American citizens who are currently serving prison time in federal penitentiaries for similar offenses to Brittney Griner. Not to mention, Joe Biden left Paul Whelan in Russia. Even CNN is calling him out for it. Exclusive. Paul Whelan tells CNN that he is disappointed that more has not been done to secure his release. Detained American Paul Whelan expresses frustration that more has not been done to secure his release in an exclusive CNN interview hours after detained American Brittney Griner was freed. You mean to tell me that Joe Biden is such a cruddy negotiator that the only thing he could get from the Russians was Brittney Griner for the merchant of death? You mean to tell me that Joe Biden, leader of the most powerful nation on earth, couldn't even get the Russians to add on Paul Whelan and possibly other individuals for one of the most notorious Russian terrorists in world history? I mean, that's like Joe Biden being the general manager of the Chicago Bulls in 1996 and trading Michael Jordan for, well, WNBA's Brittney Griner with no future draft picks, no cash deal, just a one-for-one trade. 1996 Michael Jordan for Brittney Griner. Stupid. Doesn't even begin to describe it. And of course, Sleepy Joe continues to pat himself on the back and refuses to answer any questions as to the criticism of the Griner swap.
Mr. President, what do you say to the bipartisan criticism of the Griner swap?
Please move towards the door.
Mr. President, what did you say to Brittney Griner today? Mr. President, what did you say to Brittney Griner today? What did you say to Brittney Griner today?
Excuse me, everyone from press, please move this way.
Look at all of these smug clowns smirking as if they've done something so incredible. Do you not realize what you just did? And let's add some more context here. I mean, let's add this on to the fact that Joe Biden's failed exit in Afghanistan left $80 billion of American weapons and machinery. Joe Biden's legacy when it comes to foreign policy and geopolitics is a poorly executed exit that led to the fall of Kabul, the fall of Afghanistan, that has been completely taken over by the Taliban. And during that exit, leaving $80 billion in weapons and vehicles to those exact terrorists to use for themselves or even sell to other terrorist groups, and being unable to stop this Ukraine-Russia border crisis, which is one thing, but then spending over $100 billion sending aid, weapons, vehicles, and explosives to Ukraine, then giving Russia back their most premier black market underground arms dealer. I am at a complete loss for words. People celebrate this guy as if he's a genius. You know, during the election season, they went on and on about Joe Biden's incredible experience. He's been in government. He knows what to do. He has experience. Well, is this Joe Biden's experience? Is this what political and government experience equates to in foreign policy experience? Because if it does, then only people with exactly zero government experience should ever be elected into office. And every time their first term is up, they should be replaced. But of course, that isn't the case. This is a uniquely Joe Biden phenomenon. The guy has the worst foreign policy track record of any American politician in American history, period. And that's not me saying that. That's a member of the Obama administration who admitted that before this guy got into office. And boy, was that a clear warning that people should have taken more seriously. I mean, I am absolutely flabbergasted here. It's crazy to me. People are celebrating this as if it's a good thing. This is a complete and utter disaster. That's what I got for you guys, though. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel if you guys are up for it. I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.